Hello and welcome to the You Are a Philanthropist podcast. This is episode 12, and today we're talking with Ron Dudley. Ron Dudley is a writer of the Street Sense Media newspaper, and he wrote a book, My Science Project. Ron is a friend to Mary Judith Tierney, who was on episode 4.
You are the kind of person who wants to improve the lives of others, but you need to take pride in your everyday actions. You Are a Philanthropist believes that every act of goodwill deserves to be recognized as philanthropy. Each individual action you take impacts another's life. Believe that what you do makes a difference. So call yourself a philanthropist and start a ripple effect of generosity that boomerangs back to you. Go to youareaphilanthropist.com/shop. Style your outside to match your inside. Choose a t-shirt, hoodie, or bag to show how much you love giving to others. That's youareaphilanthropist.com/shop. Welcome to the You Are a Philanthropist podcast with Jen Klein, a certified fundraising executive and philanthropic entrepreneur. This show is dedicated to empowering and inspiring you to make a difference in your community and our world. Jen believes all acts of kindness matter, and this show is designed to help you take pride in your everyday actions of improving the lives of others and making a change in the world. Now, here's Jen.
Ron, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks, no problem.
I'm eager to hear about your life because MJ mentioned that you sold her a newspaper on the street, and that's how she started meeting you.
Yeah, I've been selling the homeless newspaper for about 7 years now. And yeah, she would pass me every day. And, I guess she saw, how respectful I was and started showing me some love. And man, it's been awesome.
She's got a lot of love to give, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does. It's awesome. Yeah, definitely.
And do you meet a lot of people like MJ?
Yeah, a lot.
Do you
Definitely.
have a lot of friends that you've met?
Yeah, a lot of friends, just like her. That's how I made it this far. Just friends, good people.
That's something MJ's mentioned to you, to the listeners and I on my podcast, on her episode, is that you've really built a community by selling that newspaper.
Yeah, I have. I've been selling it for 7 years now. And when I had nothing, that's what I had, the newspaper. So when I was at the bottom, I got with the paper and it changed my life. Yeah, definitely.
And so by changing your life, I understand now you're in an apartment?
Well, I'm renting a room. I'm searching for housing, but I've been living in my room for about 4 years now. So I've been able to pay my rent and, survive and take care of my bills and myself and my kids. So I can't ask for more, I can do the main things I'm supposed to do. That's what counts.
That's awesome. And so one of the things MJ mentioned is that you're a rapper and your your rap lyrics have become poems. And you wrote a book called The My Science Project.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about some of your poems or art through rap? Because MJ had this great quote from your Black Lives Matter poem called My Life is Your Life and Your Life is Mine. What does that mean to you?
It's just like, if you live and die for me, I'll do the same for you.
That's beautiful.
That's it's like, that's straight to the point. You live and die for me, I'll do the same for you. And show me love, I got you. It's self-explanatory. It's just, yeah.
That's wonderful. And tell me, have you met a lot of people who have been generous with you through this, that you've met through your book or through your selling of the Street Sense Media newspaper?
Yeah, the newspaper, I've been selling the newspaper for 7 years. And just by selling the newspaper, rain, sleet, snow, that's how a lot of people realized who I was and the talent that I had because they saw me so much. I guess my dedication to the paper and, and actually the fact that people read what I wrote, that was the main thing. Because sometimes people support you without reading what you wrote, but people actually read what I wrote. So that's what made me feel good. And they understand and they understood. And that's what I wrote sometimes when you write how people really feel, that's a good thing. So it's like, but the newspaper got me the book. I was so, like I said, 7 years the newspaper. I was out in front of Trader Joe's for 4 years. 4 years selling the newspaper. And with it, one day I wrote a piece called Tree of Life. Because there's where I'm renting a room at is a tree outside the back of the apartment. It's a tree that's there. It got struck by lightning. It's been through so much, and it just reminds me of life. And every time I see it, even though I live in the ghetto, every time I walk out back and see that tree, it makes me realize, okay, things not as bad in this world as you want. Things not bad. Because the tree been through everything. It's like it represents life, and
It sounds like you're a very optimistic person.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's something on my recent podcast, Paul Ott had mentioned about how important optimism is to being a philanthropist and showing kindness and generosity to people. Is optimism your fuel? Is showing kindness your form of charity?
It's so funny. It's the person that I really am. I'm a kind person. It's like we attract other kind people, So I just appreciate people, and I never take things for granted. You know what I mean? Once I realized love is the key, and not hate, and I can run with that.
That's beautiful. How old were you when you realized love is the key?
I was just young. I was young because I lost my mom when I was a kid. So, when you lose your mom early, you look at life different. When you lose a mother when you're young.
Wow, I can't imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, so you always look at life different. But like I had an aunt to raise me. So I had somebody to raise me to get me to here. You know what I mean? So at least I did have somebody. Some people don't have anybody. So, yeah, so I have to stay optimistic and keep my head above the water because, it's not bad.
That's beautiful.
It's never as bad as you think it is. So.
That's so interesting. And sometimes in retrospect is when we realize that what was difficult was actually working for us. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's like a lesson learned. You learn something. It's like, okay, what did you learn? Did you learn a lesson? Okay. If you learn the lesson, then the same things won't happen to you.
And it's not failure because you turned whatever hardship or failure you had into something new and something you can transform.
Yeah, that's street sense. It kept me alive, the paper, because it's like whenever I didn't go to work, bad things happen. It's just like street sense and selling the newspaper. It's just positive because when you live at a certain place, it's negativity, no matter what. When you live in certain areas, and it's just negativity. But I tell people, just give me street sense after I lost everything, and I just saw just how positive people were. That's what worked for me, being a positive person, being myself. You try being negative, but no, it doesn't work for me. I'm a positive person. I like positive energy. I like positive people. That's what makes me go to work. Just the people, just people, because people show you love and they don't have to. People don't have to. People could, like I said, people could just buy a newspaper. They don't have to read it. They don't have to know that you are an artist. They don't have to know that you have a book. They don't have to come to your shows. They don't have to support you. They don't have to care, but people care. So, and I was taught to care too. So, I care. That's another thing too. I care. I really genuinely care about the people, I care about the customers. So definitely.
That's beautiful. How many people, and do you know them, that contribute to the newspaper?
Over hundreds. I've been selling the paper for 7 years now. So over hundreds. I know people by name. So as I tell people, when you know people by name, it's so different. It's so different when the community know you by name. You know what I mean? Like, and a customer by name. That's not easy. It's like it lets you know that people really care about you because they don't have to. People take the time out of their time to show you love and take the time to talk to you, buy your paper, read your work, tell other people about you. introduce their family members to you. People don't have to do that. Like, it's just business and boom, it's back to work. So it's work at home. Or people letting you in their lives. They don't have to do that. That's great. Yeah.
That's such an important point, that it's not just business. And I can tell that when you're writing, you must be very articulate and really want to move from your own, what you've learned in your own life and transform it and to share it with others.
Yeah, I do. Because I know we all go through the same thing, no matter how I look. We all go through the same thing. And at the end of the day, we got to eat, sleep, breathe, think, learn, teach, love. That's the main thing. We got to love, So that's the main thing. Just people show me so much love. I have to show them love back. It's like, you know what I mean? Like the community that took care of me and my kids, I have to make sure, like, say I might not be able to feed your kid, but I might save your kid from getting hit by a car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like,
yes.
You know what I mean? So
actually, Paul Ott, a couple episodes ago, said the same thing, is that you don't know strangers, but sometimes you might need that stranger because they're just there in the moment you need them.
Right. Yeah. There's so many times just good morning make people, you know what I mean? So it's just the word good morning. And just, that's, good morning. I love good morning. I'm a morning guy because I know good afternoon and good night is so hard. So, it's like something about saying good morning, no matter how bad you're feeling, good morning. A person saying good morning, that's a good sign. Like
that's such a good point, especially because the morning represents this ability to start fresh, doesn't it?
Yeah. Just being, a morning guy. Like I notice after 12 o'clock, things change. Good afternoon, just like
you get tired.
People. It's just something about. But I'm a morning person. I'm like I said. But I just appreciate the people just speak because some people don't have to speak to you. A lot of people rush in, and so you don't want to judge people because they don't speak. Because you might make the wrong judgment. Because
yes.
I learned that because a person was deaf. I thought they had a problem, but they were deaf. You know what I mean? So you think they have a problem, but the whole time they're deaf. So you never know what people got on their mind. So just don't judge them because I always know, like, if 10 people don't speak, 100 people are. So you up 90. You know what I mean? So that's
true.
You know what I mean? So because if you and I tried that, there's people that haven't spoke for 6 years, and they mean that. So they'll rather speak to a dog before they speak to me. But if I worried about that, I wouldn't be still selling paper. They'll be in control of me. So I still speak to them, even though I know they don't speak. You know what I mean? So
that's amazing.
I'm gonna still speak, even though, you know what I mean? So I still speak. So because
that's beautiful.
Because coming to work make me feel good and make me feel happy.
Yeah.
If you don't speak and I try to focus on that, it could bring me down. If I'm down, then everybody could be down. You never know. So it's like uplifting. I just want to be uplifted and uplift the people too. So, but I know just a good morning can take you far, man. A good word, a positive attitude, just, and being real too. Just being real. And like I said, I know I still sold the paper when I didn't make any money. That's how I know I loved it. I was like, okay, when you love something, if you do it and don't care about the money, because, and like I said, a lot of times you got people with cups shaking, you got panhandlers around you. I had to get in the panhandler shoes. And you know what I mean? I had to get on the ground with them to see why you're doing this. I had to look at these people. Instead of judging them, and I had to really, okay, because I got a place to live, but I do know what it's like to not have. You know what I mean? So it's like you don't want to judge people by you don't want to say the wrong thing, but still you want people to treat other people with respect.
Yeah.
Just because you shaking the cup, that don't mean you're right. You know what I mean? It's like nobody, you know what I mean? It's like we want to respect each other.
Awesome. So Ron, our last guest was actually 9-year-old girl, and she shared about her inspiration to give to other people, particularly to her local food pantry. And we talked about the power of a smile And I was particularly thinking about the power of a children's smile. I'm
Right.
just curious if you have any thoughts on that.
Man, I love seeing children smile, because if the children smile and the parents smile most of the time,
Yeah.
because somebody got to teach them that. Somebody, because like I said, a smile can. Because I tell you, like, when you're feeling down, you see a smile on a person's face, it can uplift you. It can lift you up. It could change because you might was going to commit suicide that day.
Yeah.
But a person said the right thing to make you smile or change your attitude, because that's what happened to me. So when I'm on my way to work some days, it's like when you walk into work, a person offers you a ride, but you say no because you appreciate the fact that you have everything that God gave you. You're not trying to be disrespectful. You just appreciate your feet because people in wheelchairs. So you walk out the door, a person say you need a ride. You're like, no, I'm good. And then as you're walking, before you get far, even though you live in the ghetto, somebody outside the ghetto is speaking to you on the way to work. You know what I mean? That doesn't happen to people in the ghetto. Nobody speaks to you. You know what I mean? You got to keep going. But me, before I get down the hill, hey, Ron. And when I get close to the job, hey, Ron. And I get 3 more people. So 3 good mornings, 3 positive. And because I might have just left home where a person stole from you. The person that you live with might just stole from you. So you need to go to work to stay focused, because the people, you know what I mean? Because you never know what COVID, you never know what people going through. People mental problems, but I tell people, just walk into work. When you've been working so long and you know people by name, they know you by name. Like, just walk into work before I get to work. No matter what, I bump into somebody. Like, it's like, wow, I didn't know I was going to bump. And sometimes I think about a person that I haven't seen in years, and as I'm walking to work, bump into them. So just work is a positive thing for me. I tell people, just selling the newspaper, because selling the newspaper got me the book. That's why I never stopped selling the newspaper. You can't forget where you came from, you know what I mean? So the newspaper got me the book, and I love the book, but I can't forget the newspaper, you know what I mean? So
yeah. So when was your book published?
December 18th last year.
Oh, just last
a year ago. Yeah, a year ago. So I tell people it came out December 18th, and it was probably a few weeks, not even a month, like COVID hit. It was just like, you know what I mean? So
bad timing.
Yeah, just like I had a good maybe 30 days as far as my book in reality. But the few days that I had with my book, it got me through. My kids, my family, everything I had to do, I took care of people that I love. I did all I could do, because you never know. You never know. So you want to do the right thing. But in reality, a lot of people don't know that when my book came, it was so great for like a couple of weeks, a month maybe. Once COVID, January, like I'd say February, things just went down. But I never let people know that it went down. You know what I mean? I was just like, I still got to try. I can't, because it's still books. Somebody giving you free books. You just got to do. So eventually, you're giving books away, and you're thinking about how you're going to do on your next book, because you're still blessed. You still thank God, because the little bit of time you still made more money and was able to take care of your bills. And so it was still a plus. Yeah. When I said, okay, COVID came, it went down. And I think it almost took my motivation away too. It's like, okay, you're going through so much. You're like, okay, COVID hit. And like I said, you got people with a cup shaking the cup. It was like you got a newspaper and a book in your hand, and you got a work badge. People not buying anything, but you got 3 people shaking cups. You know what I mean? So, but you can't get mad at the people that you know what I mean? You just got to realize, okay, I had to pray, think, strategize, and still show the people love, because as long as you guys are giving the people that shaking cups, I'm going to give them.
Awesome.
You know what I mean? It's just like, I understand. It's just like, but I say, okay, I'm going to try to do it different with the next book. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Tell me how people can buy your book.
Well, this book, I'm working on my next book. So, as far as the publishing, I'm not sure if I'm going to get any more books. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do have a good 50 books left.
Yeah.
I have about 50 books left, but I'm not sure if the publishing company is going to give me any more books. You know what I mean? Because I'm working on the next thing. So, and also, like I said, once the COVID hit, it was like when you can't sell 10 books in a month, it's a problem. You know what I mean? Because it's not on Amazon, anything. It's just like when you need books, you call a publishing company and they deliver them. So, like I'm just thinking maybe my second book will be on Amazon.
Yeah.
But everybody that got my science project, they love it. You know what I mean? So that was a blessing. That definitely was a blessing because the book it was a blessing because I prayed for it, because I took a picture. And I told one of my roommates, I said, I wrote Tree of Life, a piece called Tree of Life for the newspaper. And when I wrote it, I couldn't sleep. And I was like, okay, something special about this piece that I'm writing. And I told my roommate, this is the one that's going to get me noticed. And I was like, this is the piece. And I was in the paper for a good 3-4 years already. So I was telling him this is the piece, and I couldn't sleep. And I prayed on it because, sometimes you pray for the wrong things and you get them. So I was like, okay, God, let me pray for the right thing. And then it's so crazy, like that quick, like a couple of days later, a person passed me and I was telling him about the paper, and I was telling him I was in the news. He passed me a couple of times, and it was the last time he said he went and Trader Joe's a restaurant. He's like, I'll get the paper when I come out. So he got the paper, and I guess he paid for the paper and left. And a couple of days later, he was looking for me. Everybody at Trader Joe's was like, Ron, the guy's looking for you. But I'm thinking this is a regular customer, but it's the publisher. And he was like, finally I met with him. He was like, would you want to do a book? And you're a genius. And I was like, whoa. I was like, wow, thanks. And I shook on it, and he was like, because he read Tree of Life. And I was like, it was like days later after I prayed on it. You know what I mean? It was like,
wow.
Days later after I prayed on something. What's the odds of that?
Yeah, and I understand through the information that MJ gave you was that the man who talked to you was the owner of a nonprofit publishing company called Foundation Ibsen.
Yeah.
That and all the revenues go to you.
Yeah, it does. And yeah, definitely. That was a great thing. Everything goes to me, went to me, and he was a man of his word. That's why. It's like, definitely, these guys, they are a company of their word. And that's why it was like, because when I was going through a lot of negativity, his word was his bond. You know what I mean? I was like, wow, we shook on it and everything came out the way we planned. So he was a man of his word. And I like, that was good business.
Have you always been a writer? Where does your inspiration for writing come from?
Always been a writer. Life, I guess, not playing video games, not being 6'5", and just always been a writer. Always.
That's
always.
Great.
I wrote all my life. I've been writing since a kid. Yeah.
So you've been doing a lot of writing, and practice makes perfect, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Great. And so, did you happen to bring one of your poems with us to share?
Yeah, I brought a book.
Would you be willing to read your favorite poem for us from your book, My Science Project, excuse me?
It's going to be good. My favorite piece. Code of Science.
Great.
They say you were born with a number, you're going to die with a number. It's hard to live through the winter, hard to survive through the summer. Any day can be the day when the clock stopped ticking. My therapist died when he stopped paying attention. A murderer, a killer prayed to God for his freedom. I guess he prayed so much one day they finally freed him. What is a brain without a heart? What is a heart without a brain? What is blood without a stain? What are the loss without a gain? See, it's a code, it's a pattern with nature in balance. See, I was told I was slow and mentally challenged. I was told I would never accomplish a thing. I was told I was always amount to nothing. See, zero is still a number on this lottery ticket. I mastered the code of science when I finally hit it. I guess God answered questions in mysterious ways. God, please give me science for the rest of my days. Code of science.
Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. You're very articulate, and I can tell that you're resilient and optimistic and analytical, and you are appreciative for what you have.
Yeah, definitely. Appreciate that.
That's beautiful. And so I know you mentioned, and I know MJ mentioned on her episode, that one of the things that you value is not just your generosity of spirit to others, but you do appreciate giving back to people. And MJ shared that when you got your stimulus check for the COVID relief, you offered any portion of that to MJ. Is that true?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I did. Just because she showed me so much love, just like I said, we look out for each other. I will always tell people you don't have to have a lot to look out for people. I try to tell my other vendors that too. You have to look out for the people too. You have to look out for the people because people look out. Yeah, you have to look out for the people. You got to show love to people because, people show love. You got to show love back. And I really appreciate her too. And, that's just love. Yeah. She showed me love. So yeah, definitely love.
I'd like to share something that Jesus said that I ran across the other day and made me think of you. Luke chapter 21, verses 1-4, it says, Jesus looked up. He saw the rich putting their gifts into the temple treasury. He also saw a poor widow put in 2 very small copper coins. He said, truly, I tell you, this poor widow has put in more than all the others. All these people gave gifts out of their wealth, but she, out of her poverty, put in all she had to live on. I've been in fundraising for 15 years, and we focus a lot on the big gifts because that's how people feel like we're able to do the mission of our charity. And this podcast was created because there really needs to be this sense that we're all part of this together. For example, Bill and Melinda Gates, who are, the world's biggest philanthropist by monetary standards, they couldn't do their work without all of the people who are putting their time into executing what their money is able to do. So they need contributions at all giving levels to be able to give to, education and poverty relief and equality. And so for you to be able to give what you have is such a big contribution. And Jesus, one of the wisest and well-known men in history, said that when a poor man gives, it's even more important than when a rich man gives.
Wow, that's deep. Wow. That's deep. That's deep.
Ron, I know you're a man of faith, as am I. Can you tell me, is Jesus the source of your inspiration for charity?
Well, yeah, I believe in God, so I can't, that's how I was raised. I can't deny that, that's how I was raised. I was raised in the church. I was baptized. I was confirmed Catholic. I went to Catholic, so I'm a godly person. I believe in God. Yes, I can't, I will not say no. I believe in God. So yes, definitely.
Amen.
That's what keep me motivated, because I tell you, no matter what, you might not know, you might not see if I got shades on, but I'm praying with the shades. I might have on headphones, but I'm praying. So it's just like,
Amen.
That's what gets me through prayer, because sometimes your mind can tell you the wrong information.
Yes.
So it's like your heart. You got to follow your gut.
Yes.
So my gut is to stay positive, appreciate everything and everybody. And, I want them to do the same for me. It take a village, so it take everybody. So like I said, that's the thing, Trader Joe's, they teach you that. Like in that area, that's why I say I love the area, because it's like people show you love and they don't have to. That's the thing. It's like, so, and when people show you love and they don't have to, it's like you don't worry about who don't show you love. That can't focus, because people show them you love. People already show them you love and they don't have to. So I can't really focus on the negative. So yeah, that was deep.
Oh, thank you.
I believe in God.
It's not my words.
I'm a godly person, so
I'm glad I could share that with you.
Yeah,
I'm glad I could remind you of how important it is what you're doing. We're talking with Ron Dudley, writer of My Science Project and the Street Sense Media newspaper. Ron, you've given us so much inspiration and shared so much about the kindness and value you put into your writing and sharing it with the world, and your how much a smile matters to everybody. And I'd like to have you help us inspire our listeners about what they can do with whatever they have in order to make a difference in the world.
Just stick to it, no matter what. Stick to it. Listen to your parents if you're young. You have to listen to somebody. That's the main thing. Listen, because if you listen to people that's telling you the right thing, you can't go wrong. You know what I mean? Just like I said, never give up. Just know that anything is possible. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Never give up. And like I said, because I always look, even homeless people, like we might not have anything today, but tomorrow your life could change. The person standing next to you. And like I look at people as they could be God too. Everybody is not the devil. You might be turning God down. So don't turn God down.
Right.
Don't turn God down if you accepted the devil.
That's right.
So yeah, that's the main thing. And like I said, you have to, like I said, pray. You have to have faith, definitely. And the main thing is you have to try, because if you don't try, you won't know. Even if you fail, it's just failure. Okay, that's going to make you think and strategize and be wiser. But yeah, just you have to have resilience. You have to be strong, and you have to have faith. Like that's the main faith. Don't get people want to say no faith. No, you need faith. Like I say, everybody don't believe in God, but I do. So yeah, I do.
Yeah, and the question is, if goodness doesn't come from God, where does it come from?
It comes from the heart. It comes from the mind. It comes from the people around you. It comes from some things you just know, some things you just do, some things you just taught. It's called right or wrong. Yeah. It's like, it's right or wrong. You don't want to get stuck in the middle. We're human beings, but it's like, I tell people it's no in between. It's like good or evil. Which side are you going to take?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I never thought about that.
It's no. You want to think is a middle. That's what's going to slow you down and get you confused. But you realize what goes up comes down. Yes or no, right or wrong, good or bad, good or evil. It's like, I chose to do the positive thing and the right thing. All the time, it don't. But just being a positive person don't get you where you want all the time. Sometimes the wrong people and the wrong things get ahead of you first, but you got to have the faith. So, because that's fake, because, God is real. So you can't worry about what's fake for too long. You can't focus on, you just got to stay strong and focus and, and your faith and stay in your belief. So,
and we talked about how we can learn our lessons when we do make those mistakes.
Yeah, you can. Definitely.
Well, Ron, I'll be buying a book from you. I can't wait to read it. I loved that you shared one of your poems with us. It was beautiful, and I'm going to put in the show notes for our listeners to reach out to you by email to buy that book from you. And I'm so glad you were here today and shared with us your story and your passion and your gifts. Thank you for being here, Ron.
Appreciate that. Take care.
Take care.
Peace.